Hi, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. Today I'm going to show you what I bought from Aldi, and I wanted to explore whether I could eat a really healthy diet and get all of the ingredients I needed for an anti-inflammatory diet that I am trying currently from Aldi. It could have been Lidl. I don't think there's that much between them, but I happened to be going to the vets with even pets at home with the cats, so Aldi was next door, so that's where I went. But I've been reading, I've mentioned this in previous videos, I've been reading quite widely around anti-inflammatory diets. I've got a couple of inflammatory conditions, it appears, so I have a problem with my thyroid, which is being treated, and I'm hoping I won't need to take this medication forever, and which is apparently is an autoimmune disease and apparently caused by inflammation in the body. I have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Again, some people say that's caused by inflammation, and increasingly I've got arthritis in my hands mainly, but in other areas of my body as well. My knees are feeling fairly funny at the moment. I think it's the cold. So, you know, I started looking into various kind of authors on anti-inflammatory diets, and they seem to agree on key messages, and one of them is don't eat any processed food. Everyone seems to agree on that. Alcohol seems to be a no-no, or at least very much in moderation. Sugar is a bad thing for your body generally, I think, really. And well, processed food is the really big one, I think. What else do they say? Gluten seems to be suspect for many people. There are other potential problem areas like dairy. I think I'm okay with dairy, but I do have lactose-free dairy, so mostly. So maybe it's the lactose rather than the dairy. But having said that, I did buy a couple of cartons of oat milk this week, as you will see, but they're not gluten-free. So, then you go around in circles. I've been generally trying to stick to gluten-free. I've had some gluten, I'm not absolutely being perfect, but I'm generally managed to eat gluten-free. I've upped the amount of fruit and vegetables that I eat this week as well. I tend to eat quite a lot anyway because I like them, especially vegetables. I just enjoy eating vegetables. So, but I really am trying to up that as much as possible, and I'm looking at healthy fats in things like nuts and olives and olive oil and oily fish and those kind of things, and trying to incorporate those, avocados, into my diet. Not worrying about fat. I don't think fat is really the problem. I think sugar's a bigger problem, and I think a lot of people do agree with that now. So I'm eating, I got this one, I think I showed you this last week, Eat Right for Your Inflammation Type. I got that from the library and I'm wading my way through that. This was an old one that I purchased secondhand, Eat to Beat Arthritis. And I've also been I'm reading online a sample, but I've ordered it from the library as well, which is Spoon Fed by Tim Spector. I believe he has written quite a lot of books about how we should be eating and how the modern diet is ruining our health, basically. It's good for the pharmaceutical industry, I think, but not so good for us. So I've always been interested in healthy eating, but it does get confusing sometimes, doesn't it? You feel like you're being told one thing by one person and another thing completely by someone else. Like we had that low fat message for the longest time, didn't we? I remember having several Rosemary Conley books, and she was all about low fat, but she had loads of sugar in the food, the yogurts and things like that, and quite processed sometimes. Weight Watchers and Slimming World, similarly, Weight Watchers has got their whole range of totally processed microwave meals. So you think, well, okay, you might lose weight eating like that, but what do you lose as well in terms of nutrition by eating just ready meals and that kind of rubbish all the time? So I do really agree with that. I think I'm trying to eat food that is as unprocessed as possible. We don't eat a lot of processed food because we tend to scratch cook. When you live frugally, you tend to cook things from scratch. But occasionally, you don't have time. So I'm thinking the days I don't have time, just to be kind of a bit more prepared. This week what I've done is planned for the same meal twice in a row, so actually 4 meals will be 2 recipes, if you get what I mean. So, you know, it saves time. So I don't have to cook from scratch all the time. I mean, there's lots of other things that I would like to incorporate into what we eat as well, but it's just not really possible at the moment on our budget. For example, I would like to just eat organic food, but it's not possible. I would like to buy everything loose and without plastic, but that's not always possible either. So I think, well, I can't do everything, you know, so focus on one thing at a time. So that's what I'm focusing on. But, you know, I still don't want to spend a fortune on food. I think maybe I spent slightly more, but maybe not. I don't know, actually. I think it worked out something like £35 a week for the 2 of us. But I did buy a fortnight's worth of shopping because I don't want to go shopping lots. The less I go to the shops, the less I spend. That's my way of thinking. And I am on a no-spend January. So the less temptation I get, the better. And I have had a couple of fails on my no-spend January, but that will be next week's video, and see if I can get to the end of the month without doing anything else and giving in to any other temptations. Anyway, without further ado, I know lots of people hate that phrase, but I'm using it anyway. Without further ado, let's get on. I'll show you our meal plan for the week, and I'll show you my Aldi shop. Here we go. This is my meal plan for this week. I've just been shopping actually, and I couldn't find any liver in Aldi, and there never is any. So I've bought everything except that. I might change that. But anyway, this is the plan. Monday, liver and mushrooms with mash and veg, possibly mashed sweet potatoes actually, because I bought some of those today. We're going to have on Tuesday, going to have the same thing because there is enough, or there will be enough of everything if I get hold of the liver to do 2 meals worth. Wednesday we're going to have salmon and vegetables. Thursday night we will be at Justin's mum's for dinner, so just to take some bits with me, some healthy snacks. I'm planning to take some nuts, my lactose-free milk, some fruit and some hard-boiled eggs for snacking. And Friday I've got turkey mince for a change, so I'm going to have turkey bolognese with broccoli. I'm going to make enough to have that on Saturday. It's one of those weeks where I just don't want to do lots of cooking, so I don't mind having the same thing 2 days in a row. And on Sunday we're going to have chicken casserole, a Mediterranean, that's what that says. So I've not done this very well for other people to read. A Mediterranean chicken casserole with mashed potatoes and vegetables. And what I mean by Mediterranean chicken is that I will put in some peppers, and I've bought a big bag of peppers for that, and some olives and whatever other else, tomatoes and what other veg we've got really. So that's the plan for the week ahead. So I've just got back from Aldi and taking the cats to the vets to get their annual vaccinations and check over. So poor little cats, I had to rush around Aldi because I didn't want to leave them in the car too long, but it's next door to Pets at Home, so I wasn't going to come all the way back home, which is a few miles away, and then go out again. That would be pointless, waste of time and petrol. So I did the rush round, as I say, supermarket sweep. But I wanted to get as healthy a haul from Aldi as I possibly could. It's going to be for the next 2 weeks, so this is a big shop for us. Some of it may last even longer than 2 weeks, because I haven't actually done a proper shop since December, before Christmas, I think, a proper good shop. So I've been trying to eat out the stores as much as possible and use things up. So I've got to the point where I just really needed to get some fresh produce and some bits and pieces, and I'm trying to eat really healthily for my arthritis. I mentioned this in a previous video when I showed you me making the keto crackers. I'm not doing keto, but I am doing gluten-free, so the keto crackers are perfect because they're gluten-free and they're kind of satisfying. So I've bought some ingredients to make some more of those, and I'll show you. Let me show you what else I've got. So I spent quite a bit. I'll show you. So my total today was £71.69, which I have to say is more than I've spent. Well, actually I spent that much at Christmas, to be fair, but generally speaking I don't spend as much as this. But I've got, you know, a good table full, and a few other bits. I've got some cat litter down here too. So let's go through what I got. So the lactose-free milk is now £1.05. It was 85p. So that is a bit of an increase, isn't it, really? But I guess everything is going up. This is a similar price now, the oat milk, the Actileaf oat milk. barista style. I'm going to try and have a little bit more oat milk. Obviously that's not gluten-free oat milk because that's just ridiculous. I could have got almond milk, but I don't really like it, so there's not a lot of point. But I'll use this alongside this. So that's 8 lots of milk altogether, because I've got some more here too. So I've got quite a lot of that. No, it's 6, I can't actually count. So I bought some cherries, only because they're on special, in quite a small container, out of season. So I probably haven't done it, but they're £1.29, and I thought I need some good healthy snacks. Cherries are supposed to be very anti-inflammatory. I was reading about that the other day, which is why I bought them. I just bought 3 bananas at 14p each. We do have 1 banana in the fruit bowl, alongside a couple of reduced price avocados I picked up last week. I bought some closed cup mushrooms. They were also on special for 99p. Broccoli, that's gone up a bit as well. That's 69p now. I think it was like 50p for ages, wasn't it? The eggs, this was the only size of eggs they had. They only had 12 medium, because that's all they literally had in there. They were £2.29, which I think is really good value. You can do loads of stuff with eggs. I do lots of lunches based around eggs. The peppers were really good value as well, because I'm not so keen on the green peppers, and these were all red and yellow. So a family pack of wonky mixed peppers for £1.20. That's really good value. We won't be using all of these up before they start to go wrinkly. So what I'll do is I'll use a few this week, and then I'll chop them up and put them in the freezer. Celery, I use this a lot instead of onions. I do use onions sometimes, but they do affect my gut, I find. So I tend to use celery as well, and or instead, it kind of gives you the crunch, doesn't it? That was 57p. And then the chicken, so I've bought 4 lots of chicken thighs. Only 1 lot of chicken thighs will be for me and Justin. They were £2.69. The rest of Archie, I've explained in previous videos that I don't feed him commercial dog food. I've tried when he was a pup, upset his stomach continuously. So we do have 1 brand of biscuits that we can give him, and we chop up the chicken really small and he'll eat that. So those 3 will last him a good week, maybe slightly beyond a week. I like to buy 3 at a time. What else have we got? Oh, I forgot to do the rest of the produce. I've got some grapes again for snacking, £1.75. I bought some sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. We do still have white potatoes, so I might mix them together or do a sweet potato mash instead of a normal white potato mash. They were 99p, quite a big bag. I think that's quite good value. And underneath we have another wonky item, wonky carrots. So I think they're great, stubby, thick carrots. They're going to be easy to deal with, aren't they? So they'll be good for kind of chomping on as well as using in cooking. They were only 60p, but 1.5 kilograms, which I think is excellent. So where else? Oh, butter. I only bought 1 butter because it is now £1.99. It's just too expensive, really. So I'm going without a lot of the time. 85p for this full fat soft cheese. Sometimes I'll have that. It's cheaper than butter on my bread. And £1.69 for some Greek yogurt. I buy the high fat stuff. I find it's really good, and this is left over from when I did keto before. Sometimes there's an alternative breakfast. Usually I have porridge, but you know, it's nice to have something different once in a while. And sometimes for a dessert, you know, with some fruit. And I bought this 4-berry medley for the freezer, which I need to get in the freezer actually. And that was, I didn't write that on it because it's wet. That was £2.99 for that. And that will last us a good couple of weeks in the freezer. For a change, I bought some turkey mince. I'm not worried about the fat content. I just thought I would buy turkey mince instead of beef mince. Going to make a bolognese this week. That was £2.39 for 500 grams. Salmon, well, this is shrinkflation. They're actually really small salmon fillets, quite expensive, so a bit of a treat. £3.49. I really like salmon, and it's supposedly got very good anti-inflammatory properties. So it's full of these nice omega fish oils that you're supposed to eat more of. So I try to buy it occasionally, but I don't buy it very much because it's so expensive. I bought some of this Grand Padano cheese to grate when I make some more of the crackers. That was £2.05, but that will last quite a while, and I've actually got some in the fridge as well that I need to finish up. On to kind of store cupboard stuff. Bought some more brown rice. We do have some, but I'm using it quite a lot at the moment, so I thought I'd get another one while I saw it. That was £1.29. Justin likes a dessert every now and then, and if I do give in and decide I want a dessert, at least it's gluten-free rice pudding. It's 58 pence per can. I bought 2. I like this whole grain mustard. It was 49p. Justin prefers the really hot English stuff, but I like this one. I bought some gravy. This isn't very healthy. It's quite processed. It was 99p. Chicken gravy. They didn't have any vegetable one, but you know, occasionally we use that and it's quick. So for the store cupboard, sweet corn, 39 pence a can, and I bought 2. And I bought olives partly for putting in my chicken casserole, making a Mediterranean chicken casserole this week, and partly just to snack on, and they were 75p. And I don't always see black olives. You can buy fancy olives, can't you? And they're very expensive. I can't justify the cost at the moment, so I bought 2 of these, but they'll last us a couple of weeks, as I say. The only olive oil they had was this expensive extra virgin olive oil, which was $3.99. But you know, if you're going to buy olive oil, you probably should buy a good olive oil, shouldn't you? We were running low on seeds. I use these for my crackers, and I use it on my porridge as well. Flaxseed was $1.29. Sunflower seeds, again, just to snack on, or I might toast them, put them on a salad or something, $1.25. Snacky almonds, $1.69. And pumpkin seeds, $1.49. Now these will all last quite a long time, so they were quite expensive, but they'll last a while. Justin likes these fake shreddies. They're only 75p, so I got him some of those. The only oatcakes I could find in Aldi today were on specials in the middle aisles, and they're organic and superseded ones, which are nice. So $1.25. Normally I think I pay about 85 pence for my oatcakes in Lidl, but they're the only ones that I had. And then whilst I was looking at those, I thought, oh, I'll get myself some of these gluten-free biscuits, because sometimes you just want something that's going to, you know, it's going to be relatively healthy. So I got some of that. I ate one of the packets on the way back, not a whole one, but some of one of them, and that was $1.49. And then moving on to kind of bits and pieces of stuff for the house. 74p, really big thing of washing up liquid. It was the cheapest one, but you know, you're pouring it down the drain. I don't care. Justin will not go from disposable razors, unfortunately, so I got him these for £1.59. I thought I'd try their Essentials double length toilet tissue. I've had the Essentials, or whatever it's called in Asda, just Essentials, isn't it? And they were really good, those rolls. They lasted for ages. So we do have some toilet paper, but I thought I'd get some more because we are going to run out in the next 2 weeks, and I don't plan to go to do a big shop in the next 2 weeks. That's $1.93. And then I bought some pain relief. I bought paracetamol for 32p, very cheap. Ibuprofen for 42p. Don't buy anything except generic cheap brands of these. If you look at the ingredients, they're pretty much the same. Sometimes they put caffeine in, but you know, you can have a cup of coffee with your paracetamol if you feel like the caffeine makes a difference to your headache or your aches and pains. But you know, you buy the branded versions and they're so expensive. It's just a real waste of money, I think. So anyway, so that's food for us for the next fortnight. I think it did cost more to kind of really focus on purely healthy food, but I guess, you know, for sort of £36 a week for 2 people, that's not too bad, is it? Luckily I didn't need any more cleaning products, didn't need any tea bags or any coffee, got all of that. So the only things I'll have to buy, I think, in the next couple of weeks will be perhaps more chicken for Archie, maybe a bit more fruit, and possibly some milk, although that milk may well last. So I don't think I'll need to buy anything else. That should do us. So there you are. How do you think I did with trying to eat healthily on a budget? I know lots of people from my comments last week, so many people are doing a similar sort of diet and finding similar health benefits, particularly to arthritis, from cutting out gluten or cutting out dairy or both, and just doing things a bit differently. So a lot of people mentioned tomatoes and the nightshades, and I have already read about those, and I know that they do trigger some people, but I'm not going to do those for now. I think just keep going with what I'm doing, and then if I don't find I'm getting enough improvement, I'm going to start to cut out tomatoes first of all, and then I'll be looking at the other nightshade vegetables as well. So anyway, let me know in the comments how you think I did, and whether you think that kind of diet is more expensive than you ideally would want to spend. So anyway, I will see you next time. Bye for now.